Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Derp Your Hooves. So today, if you haven't noticed already, we are in the King Air 350. Now, this is a plane that you get, right, through the marketplace. It comes with the sim, and you might be wondering, well, Pony, didn't you already do a review on this? I mean, didn't you already do a video or review? Didn't we already see this plane? Chances are you have. But there's the steam gauge version. Ta-da. Right here. So we're going to be flying from Las Vegas to Van Nuys. And one of the things we're going to do is knock off that glare shield. Alright, I'm just not a big fan of it. Was I going the wrong way? Glare shield, glare shield, glare shield. Pilot floodlight. Well, probably turn that down too. But the glare shield light should be off. Because what I don't want... Oh, it's the backlighting. There we go. Floodlight, floodlight. Side panel, gyro. Nope. Avionics. Engine. Where's the backlighting? Glare shield. It's usually the glare shield. Oh, we went the wrong way. Whoopsie. I guess a little bit's fine, right? Want a little bit of light. So here we are. So this is the King Air 350, and it is. See, it is. And I used to have a cabin lighting kit. Well, I used to have a view kit for the inside, but I don't. So let's get underway on our journey, and let's go explore this fun, exciting aircraft. So, there are a couple interesting features about the King Air now. And that is, now my understanding is the flight model has changed with this add-on. So you actually need a Sobos King Air in order to get this to work. Come on up. But now you want to kind of be a little more careful when you're taking to the skies in this plane about just how hard you push these little turboprop engines on takeoff. That little skip, we know what that sound is. If you're a fan of the King Air, you know what that is. So let's get her up. And I keep hearing, I've heard this before, that the gears don't come up until you reach the end of the runway. At least in the civilian world of flight, so...
Beechcraft Papa Yankee, continue for west departure. Las Vegas Tower Beechcraft Delta Echo Romeo Papa Yankee, continue for west departure.
So you want to be careful just how hard you push these little engines now. Bring our flaps in. That'll stop the whistling and start dropping our pitch. Oh, pitch. Yeah. So it's good to have all these things set before you take off. So that way you don't, spin your pitch wheel the wrong way and nose down. Alright. Sorry about that, everybody. So you might say, well, how do you know which way we're going? Well, we're going west, right? So you kind of want to be careful when you're using the steam gauge mod, because you can break the engines, and you can break the engines real easy by too much throttle.
Beechcraft Papa Yankee, leaving my airspace frequency Las Vegas Tower Beechcraft Delta Echo Romeo Papa Yankee frequency change.
Someone might say, well, is Pony flying west? And I reassure you, I am. Or am I? I mean, how would I know? I don't really have a GTN 750 in the cockpit, do I? So maybe what I should do, right? Maybe what I should do is, right? I should set this to, maybe I should set this to west-ish. Right. Always hiccups with Pony. I think I get nervous. There we go. And just take a look. And you say, well, you see, because you're no longer flying west, Pony. Well, that's why we set our little heading bug there. So, we don't really have to do much thinking. Yeah, just west is 270. I know that Vegas is a little bit southeast of where we want to go. So, the opposite of southeast is a little bit northwest. Again, like I said, you want to be careful just how much you push this plane now. So, one of the things might be our pitch. It's a little too high, right? So we might want to, bring it back. And it definitely makes the King Air much more of a fun to fly, kind of challenging aircraft now versus, before you had all your screens, all your, it's not the 750. What did Sobo put in the cockpit of this thing? Because I don't remember. It gave us the Garmin glass cockpit, which is really nice. I mean, don't get me wrong. That is really nice. I mean, I love it. It also makes flying this plane really, really simple. Right now, I'm just going to bring it on a heading select. I'm just going to come check out some of these gauges here. So this is what I'm talking about. Right about now, you see where it says turbine RPM. Now, I would say you probably don't want to push this too far past 90, just to be honest with you. You could. I suppose you could even turn the damage off, but, we kind of want to keep it right about here. Right? And our vertical speed's pretty high. We can bring that down a little bit, right? Oh, well, we got to do that with the vertical speed. So, let's see. Nose down. Let's set it to vertical speed. Nose down, nose down. And so that way we're still climbing a little bit. Well, now our vertical speed is the opposite of what it was, and we don't want that. We're not going to want that really soon. So, right. Come on. And again, here we have the lovely outside of our King Air 350. So the outside really hasn't changed much at all, right? I mean, looks exactly the same. And I guess that's the overall point of it. Is that we're still getting our factory out. So, a couple things I didn't do. I can kill the landing lights. I want the logo lights. But I want a couple other things, like the pidot heat on. And you say, but why, Pony? Well, it's 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, it's a good idea to have the pidot on. Even if it doesn't seem all that cold, but isn't 22 degrees Fahrenheit below freezing? And I'd have to say yes. So, I doubt that we're going to have an issue with ice, but it's always nice to be able to look out on the wing with your anti-ice light and just have a see and say, well, am I going to ice up the plane and go in the first officer's seat and say, well, there's no ice on the wings, right? It's only 22 degrees. So, what is that? 8 degrees below freezing, right? So you don't need them. We looked. Turn them back off. And I would say the ice on the mountains is probably what made me a little leery about that. And again, the outside of the plane is, this is still gorgeous, but now you might be saying, well, but I don't understand. I love the 350. What was it? The Garmin 350, the 500, whichever one Asobo puts in there. And I know I need to do some reading up on my flight instruments, but and this also gives us a little. See, look at this. It tells you on the radar mode. It tells you your engine condition, and I'm telling you, you will cook the engines in this. Unlike, it has a realism mode. You have active failures, and so it's really cool. Right? And I mean, you've got all your gauges. You've got your navigation, your directional finder. You've got your vertical speed gauge. You've got everything. Right? Oh, and it's got a prop sync, so we could sync our props. All right, but I think overall we're doing pretty good. 0 is north, so north, west, east, south, northwest. Then we may be a little shy of Vegas because I really don't know. Oh, there we go. How far off our flight plan are we? Ooh. Going the wrong way. Right. We're supposed to be going all the way down here. We're going northwest. So, what I should be able to do if I wanted to fix this, I'm going to keep an eye on my airspeed, going 200 plus knots. We can get rid of that. So what I should be able to do, do you think I'd be able to switch over to GPS? I don't think it's going to let us. So So, in theory, right, I should be able to set this to nav, and it should start tilting the plane generally in the direction I need to be going in. So we're going to figure out just how we get the plane to follow the GPS setting. And I'm just messing with the radar, don't worry about it. There was a knob. Selector. So we have weather radar. Oh. I mean, we got pretty far off course there, so yeah. Vegas to Van Nuys is not really an incredibly long flight. I mean, well, it's not for something that goes 350 knots. And, you know, I mean, right now the King Air is kind of telling us 220 knots is our max. So, I mean, you really don't want to push it too much more than that. And so I know the cabin pressure is off. And we're actually going to turn on the pilot's floodlight to solve that. Because if I remember correctly, you have... It's not bleed air. It's blower on. We'll just use electric heat. Alright. And just the forward blower. And we adjusted the cabin pressure. So Tony likes it a little darker in the cockpit. So I got to work on these slow pans still, right? Just slow. Like a professional camera person. I gotta admit, for me, so when I first bought the sim, not too soon after it came out, this was one of the planes that I got because I got the premium package. I actually upgraded from the basic package, or it was the second package to the premium package. Well, this was in there, right? I mean, we're gonna talk about packages, but this was in there. Turbo props. I think you only got like I said, I don't remember if anyone remembers what you get in the standard package. It's it's you get to have fun with Cessnas and Skyhawks, and then you're going to be craving for more. So I got the upgrade, and when I bought the sim again, they were offering a discount. It was brand new. It was a little bit different, but this was in there. And I mean, of course, I was upset because there was there was no F-14 when I bought it. There was it was all GA planes, and again, I'm not knocking anybody who likes GA planes. I love the King Air, and that's what I'm getting to. So the King Air was in there, and I was like, wow, the King Air is in here. This thing's so cool, And then, I mean, what did I know? I mean, it had the all glass cockpit. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Because I've flown the King Air before in other versions of the sim. And I'm like, oh, I love the King Air. So, here it is. And I mean, and again, if you remember what I said, we are Derp your Hooves. So, I mean, technically we are flying, right? How far are we off our flight plan? Let's just take a look. Did we? No, we haven't quite intersected with it yet. No. We're pretty much going to arrive in the same general area. I mean, my Like I said, I've done this so many times. I don't know why I thought it was Las Vegas was south of our departure airport. Maybe it's because I do it the other way, and I was like, like you get all turned around. I mean, you ever had someone like put a bag over your head and then they spin you around in a circle, and they're like, "What direction are you going in?" Um, you know what? Maybe that's going to be kind of like people are going, "What? Who put a bag over your head and spun you around in a circle?" Well, you know what I mean. Like, when you're gonna you're gonna hit the pinata, and someone puts a blindfold over your eyes, and then they give you a bat, which is pretty dangerous. I don't think if you were gonna put a bag over someone's head, or if like a group of people in like black pajamas were gonna come down and you know what I mean, like black tactical gear, throws a bag over your head and throws you in a car, and they're like, drive, you know. But anyways, that's not funny for some people. But so like the the birthday party, you got your everyone's has got to have been to their nephew, their niece, if you don't have children of your own, whatever it may be, or you've seen it in a movie, right? I mean, we've all watched movies. At the pinata, and you put the blindfold on, you spin yourself around. Well, then you're like, oh, I'm all disorientated. It's kind of like how this flight has started out to be. Um, but I guess I was just all disorientated, and I have not figured out how to use the GPS in this aircraft yet. I mean, the steam gauge version, or I like to refer to it as an analog version. Um, doesn't really matter, does it? Steam gauge is catchier, right? They're steam gauges because they look like gauges on a boiler, right? Right. Right, but they're not really steam gauges. So I would think that just pushing a button down there would change it to GPS, so that I could just really easily fly a course that I set on the map. And I'm not knocking this; it's brand new. So if that's how the feature's supposed to work and it doesn't work, I'm confident that it'll be fixed. But I mean, it's always a good idea to know where you're going. Right? I mean, like you get in your car. Well, I mean, sometimes I've gotten in my car, before gas was so expensive, and just been like, I'm just gonna drive. But I mean, I would think, usually I think in general I have an idea of where I'm going, and I know how to get back home. That could change. When I start getting much older. So, but like when you file a flight plan, it's like, hey, I'm gonna go fly. Well, I mean, maybe you are, and maybe you're not gonna file a flight plan. I'm gonna go from here to here, and that's kind of part of the fun of the sim too. But yeah, I mean, you might want to know like what your heading's supposed to be and all that. Just don't be like Pony sometimes and hop on the plane and be like, well, I mean, it's I know that it's west of us. Right? I mean, I'm not sure if it's northwest of us. No, it's southwest, Pony. Think of that Tex-Mex, delicious food. It's southwest. Anyways, but so again, we're just going to use our toggle wheel here, which is a little more direct, not quite as cinematic and fun as the other, whatever this thing is, this thumb thing on the side of my flight stick, joystick, whatever. So the other thing is that we've got all our breakers, and the breakers work, and we're not going to be pushing breakers today. We're going to try and finish the flight. And why does it still say that my cabin pressure's all messed up? Cabin temperature. Cabin temp should be on auto. It has a save state. Electric heat's on. The aft blower's on. I don't really need a bleed air valve, right? Left air bleed off. Turn the cabin lights on. I can look back there and be like, hey everybody, your ears popping? Oh, Master Caution on something. Master Caution's like Master Shake. We know who Master Shake is. Master Shake, that was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Yeah. I don't even think it's, oh, well, maybe it's because you turned them off. Will that kill our cabin differential high off? I mean, I don't know. Bring lots of gum, you know, when you fly with Pony. You would think. You know, I mean, I know that I'm at 20,000 feet. And I set the cabin altitude to max. And I set the rate high. And there's some sticker here that's too dark to read it. Warning. Oh yeah, dump the cabin pressure before landing. Right. Anyhow. Just, yeah. Steam gauges. But I love it. And, you know, I'm going to use it, you know, in coordination with the VFR map to know if I'm, you know, on my flight plan. Because I like to know that I'm flying in the general direction of where I'm going. And, you know, I've been flying around here most of my videos, right? Lately, and you're like, you know, because like I said, it's a really cool area. You have the, you have where the, you know, speed of sound was broken, right? And you have, Edwards Air Force Base, that's how you know that. It's like you got Palmdale International Airport. You got Van Nuys, right? Got some other interesting places around here. We got everyone's favorite, and that's why I don't like to go there. In live player mode, we have Los Angeles International. Right, keep going down. We have Ensenada, Mexico. It's interesting. And we've got, you know, we got where, got San Diego. You know, that, Catalina. See, VFR map, yep, Catalina. The place you only land if you're military.
India 1200 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10.
I don't remember pushing the number 1. Yeah, and then we have, you know, our nice desert night. And, you know, I mean, for those who see my other videos, we have our night vision. Oh, it's blinding. It's blinding. Pony, you're killing my eyes. Right. Remember what I said? Be careful with the night vision. That's why I have these modes, right? I have the washed out mode. I have the much lighter green night mode. I still love the night vision. Isn't that cool? Right, but you really don't need it because it pretty much right now, right? We're not so much in a full moon anymore, but we're flying away from the rising sun. And technically, you know, it's really bright. You know, we're heading out of a full moon. And the sim will simulate it. It'll be so dark when you fly across the California-Nevada desert area that you won't be able to see anything. And like I said, we can cycle through. Oh, that's blinding. It is. But it's not in the Nighthawk. But we're not in the Nighthawk. We're in the king air. And then there's my monochrome night vision. And then there's my, greener night vision. Right, night vision. This is called night vision 2. I don't remember. I think second night vision. Yeah, brighter night vision. Greener real. Yeah, that's the one. Night patrol. Night vision 2. So this is a little more appropriate, but then you could just turn it off. But see, they don't need it. See? Well, enough about the night vision. But you really don't need it in the king air. I mean, right? You're going to be like flying secret missions in the king air. See that? There's Edwards, everybody. Right there. Told you. Speed of sound. Edwards. Right there. Yay, you want to land at Edwards? Well, then we're going to do a military flight. It's a fun fact about the king air. Right? The military flies the king air. They fly a version of the king air. They fly a version of the king air, and like all military planes, it has a different designation. Because it's got some other stuff in it. It's got some things. Which are really cool. And I'm getting an altitude alarm, so let's kill that. Because I never set the altitude alarm. Set it 000. And it looks like I still have a cabin differential pressure. My last flight I just adjusted the pressure and turned the heat on the blowers, and it went away. Guess it's not doing it today. So, again, get you some chewing gum. Hope you don't get sick. Don't puke in the plane. It's leather interior. It's gonna upset a whole lot of people when they're all, what's this? So, oatmeal. We were serving oatmeal. We had a breakfast flight. It's kind of slimy. Yeah, oatmeal gets kind of slimy. Smells kind of funny. Oh, it was an exotic version. It's nasty, Pony. How could you? Yeah, no. So please don't throw up in the plane. Be like, hey, wouldn't that be great? Well, anyways, I'm not gonna because I know that these aren't jokes that are suited for everybody. So, yeah. Analog king air. And I mean, this is pretty much it. And this is the joy of flight. We can see the nose of the plane, see more out the windscreen, whatever. The glass that is in front of us, that we see through. Or you could be like Superman. You could have X-ray vision, and then you really wouldn't need a window in front of you. You just see right through the sheet metal. Be like, how are you flying the plane? Well, but yeah, see. Not thinking before the mouth is moving, Pony. Superman doesn't need a plane to fly. He just puts his fist out in front of him, and off he goes. Or two fists. Whatever it was, but yeah. Do you think he has a built-in GPS in his brain? People are like, hey, birds have a great sense of direction. They know exactly where they're going. Do they really? These are kind of those thoughts. I don't know if anyone who watches these videos has a hard time sleeping. Like insomnia. Some of us do. Some of us get bouts of insomnia. But some of us never have a hard time sleeping. We work really hard, Pony, and we just fall asleep. Or whatever. Because sometimes working really hard doesn't make you fall asleep. But, just those thoughts that run through your head. And I was talking about that. If you've ever done that, I think at some point in life we've all done that. Where you're in bed and you're like, does Superman have a sense of direction in his head? Do Do birds really know where they're going? I mean, do they really have like a great sense of direction? Or is that just what scientists assume? Well, no, we've actually found that there's a magnetic compass in birds' brains. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Because I'm sorry, sometimes I think some birds are kind of stupid. You ever have a bird fly into your like window? And it's like, well, hey, dude, something big was in your way. Something like a house or a building. No, you flew right into it. That's what you get for texting and flying, right? Right. Right. Don't do it. Don't do it. I haven't gotten on one of my flying cars rants in a while, but it doesn't really matter. So, can we look around the cockpit a little bit more? So, you have all of your gauges, and they're all analog. What else is there to say? You could say, that's no yoke, Pony. Well, now there's 2 yokes. The yoke's on you. Right. Ooh, can I get it to go to local time? I can, see? So, the sun should be up soon. And if I'm looking around visually, we just passed Edwards, so we must be getting close. How far off course is Pony? He's actually pretty close. I mean, I knew it when I passed Edwards. Gonna fly this old school. Be like, use some visual landmarks to fly in the same route to know where you are. Like anyone here who drives. Or I guess even if you take the bus, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? You take the bus, Pony. Sometimes I do. Yeah, you might actually see me on the bus if you know what buses I actually take when sometimes I have to take buses. Good luck. Yeah. But, like when you're driving, sometimes you're like, dude, you don't even have to think about what street it is it's coming up. You don't even have to think about what street it is you're on. You just know where you are and you know where you're going. Or like I said, with the bus, you wouldn't think that, it would roll automatically because it just changed pitch. At least it looked like it did for a second there. Yeah, it could be the turbulence over the mountains. But we're at 20,000 feet. 19.5. Yeah, that's way higher than this mountain range is. It's about at least 11,000 feet higher than the tops of this mountain range. But, like you're in the bus. If you've ever taken the bus. Most people have taken a city bus or a bus at some time. And, your stops. And you're like, oh, dude, I'm coming up on Pony's School of Flight. That's going to be, at the next corner. And it's like, I just passed Joe's feed barn. Because Joe owes us feed. And I know that after Joe's feed barn, there's another couple of streets. And then up there is where, I got to get off. So, and you're not even really thinking it's this street and it's that street and it's, you just know by landmark. Well, it's the same thing with flying. You can learn how to fly VFR, which is different than IFR, And am I gonna make a liar of myself before the end of this video? Not sure. So if I'm at 19,000 feet, dude, I'm here. If I'm at 19,000 feet, then no, we're not landing in Burbank. But we're really close. So I guess it's airports that are farther than me, so that's usually 9. But I'm real close. As cloud cover's messing with me. Full stop landing.
Van Nuys Tower Beechcraft Delta Echo Romeo Papa Yankee is 19 miles northeast flight level 195 with Mike to land.
Cut back on that throttle by a lot.
Beechcraft Delta Echo Romeo Papa Yankee Van Nuys Tower. Altimeter 29.84 wind calm fly. Left base runway 16 right.
Oh, we're not gonna make 16 right.
Make left base runway 16 right Beechcraft Papa Yankee.
And the beeps were, you know, I didn't check my voicemail today. Turn the autopilot off and we get that lovely tone. Give it a notch of flaps and it starts to fight us. Because pretty much, like I said, I know where I'm at. I said 16 right. Well. And the great thing about, you know, this little newfangled thingy down here. It's a newfangled thingy. I said 16 right. You can just set your time clock to pony time, every pony. And that way I know I'm headed the right way. Altitude alert. I know. Because we're at 17.8. So, I mean, you might say, well, gee, pony. And landing lights. I'm going to throw them on since I'm here. I'm going to watch our speed, pony. Lest we kill the plane. And so that's kind of the thing about the analog King Air. You notice that? How our airspeed just kicks up. Right, because there's like the whole ascend and descend kind of thing. And we've pretty much had to go from 19 and change, you know, to about, well, ideally for where I am, you know, I'd like to be at somewhere around 3,000 feet on approach. So I've got a ways to go, and you can see that, you know, I've dropped my idle pretty low. And I mean, I suppose I could feather the engines, but I'm afraid to. I'd say, well, gee, pony, why are you afraid to feather the engines? I don't understand. Well, I did it once in this King Air, the analog version, and you kind of want to feather the engines when you're on final approach really close to the runway as a last resort. And it won't let you give yourself 2 notches of flaps. You get a speed warning. And again, I mean, I told you, right? Listen how that sounds. I told you. You didn't tell me jack, bub. You didn't tell me jack, bub. All these phrases I'm mixing together of old and new. I wonder what the hip new slang's gonna be like in, like, I don't know, like 60 years. Right? Or, you know, for 30 years for people who are younger. They'll be like, can't believe they're saying that. That's triangle, blah, blah, blah. And you're going to have to say that too, right? That's triangle, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, dude, you sound so stupid. Yeah, well. You know, but that'll be the hip new thing to say. And you'd be like, oh man, I'm old. Yeah. And anyone that's got a little bit of miles on them knows I'm right. It's like my grandparents used to be like, is that what you guys are saying? Or is it my uncles? Yeah. Usually my grandparents. Grandparents, yeah. That was something else. They're fun. Yeah, I miss them. But yeah. Oh, you think that it's all so different. I got news for you. Do you? What do you know, Grandpa? You're a real nice old dude, nice old guy, and get lots of cool information from you. Give me lots of real good advice. But what do you know? I mean, when you were growing up, there weren't even any cars. Were there? How old was my grandpa? How old is Pony? We're not playing that game, by the way. There are no free stickers to figure out how old Pony is. So, speaking of which, since I have you here, as we're doing our final approach to hit runway 16, what did she say? Goldfish brain, 16 right. Well, that sounds about right. The longer runway. So, let's see. This is pretty much my weekly video. I know it's a couple days late, and I really always try and get you guys a weekly video. But the F-117 Nighthawk gave you guys a contest. You have until the end of November to guess it. What airport did I take off from, and what airport did I land on? And the first 10 people to get it right will win a Derp Your Hooves vinyl sticker. And you say, well, what do you mean, Pony? Well, let's get a little bit commercialized here, in Ponyland. Derp Your Hooves stickers are normally $5 each. And they're a nice laminated Derp Your Hooves sticker. They look like the Derp Your Hooves logo on the corner with a little bit of extra on it. More like what's on the tail of the plane. And it's a vinyl sticker, so it's not paper. You can put it on your car, you can put it on your laptop, in front of your VR headset. I mean, whatever you want to put a big vinyl sticker on. And it's not small. I'd say it's about, a little bit bigger than the palm of your hand. Supposedly it's like 5 inches by something. So, palm of most people's hands. Something like that. A little bigger, I guess. Now I'm looking at my palm, which I should be looking at the area in front of me. But, so I'm giving them out for free. And I will pay postage. I'm giving 1 sticker per contestant who gets it right. Totally free. So it's a $5 value, and if you figure in the shipping, you're getting a real bargain because Pony's paying the shipping. So I'm giving away 10 of those. Let you do the math on what 5 times 10 is, and then cost of shipping. So, cheap Pony's cheap. Well, I'm secretly a millionaire, and I have the Pony Cave. But we don't talk about that. No, so I'm giving away, 10 Derp Your Hooves stickers to 10 people who get it right by the end of October. So you have, until the beginning of the 1st of November to post a comment on that video and get yourself a free Derp Your Hooves sticker. You just have to figure out where I take off from and where I land at. Because I don't tell you. So anyhow, and if you do watch that video and comment, read the video description. Do not post your street address for everybody to see. I will notify the winners, and I read the comments. I will notify the winners in the comment section, and then I will ask for what your preferred shipping address is so that you don't display it to everybody. I don't want you putting your personal information out there, you know, in my comment section, because I'm going to remove the comment for your own safety. So that's the contest on that. And I wanted to say, as I'm landing, do I keep clearing my sinuses as I'm flying? Well, that's not really a statement. That's more of a question. Um, so, and that might be disturbing, but it's early. So, see, there's the sun. Here comes the sun. You know, please don't. Well, there's only one Beatle left, right? Michael Jackson's not around. Anyhow, you know, I'm can't get nailed for that, right? Um, I wanted to say that I have hit 200 subscribers. So you might say, "Oh, whoop-de-doo, Pony, 200 subscribers. I've got like over thousands." Well, I love all you guys. I love all my viewers. I do. You know, I love the fact that you guys like watching my pony videos, my pony flight videos. I love reading your comments. Not always, but, you know, but most of the time, I love reading your comments. And so, you know, we've got 200, over 200, subscribers on the Derp Your Hooves YouTube's channel. And so, again, if you like what you see, or you don't like what you see, but you want to subscribe anyways, I highly encourage you to subscribe to Derp Your Hooves. You can like my videos if you like them, and you can even share them. You know, this guy Pony. There's a guy, he calls himself Pony. He's got this big weird looking thing for a logo, and he's giving out free stickers. Well, so 200 subscribers. I don't know, 7,300. Let's drop our gears. That'll give us some drag. Right? Did we drop our gears? We did not. Well. So thank you guys. I've really got to focus on landing, but I wanted to make sure that, I said that. Because just recently have I hit 200 subscribers, and you guys are very important to me. Master Caution, what do you want to let me know that the gears are down? But I've noticed that if Pony doesn't focus on landing, sometimes Pony doesn't make the landing. So, again, I truly love you guys. I appreciate you. So appreciate you guys liking the channel. I think it's great that you guys like to take some time out of your day to watch my flights, and I do try and make them kind of entertaining. As someone had once posted, your videos are just very entertaining all by themselves. I mean, I just get such a kick out of you. And it's like, hey, that's awesome. And it really is, to me. It's lots of fun.
Beechcraft Papa Yankee Wind 108 at tree. Cleared to land runway 16 right.
Because if I didn't think so, then I wouldn't say so.
Cleared to land runway 16 right, Beechcraft Papa Yankee.
Female voice is back. It's because I fully clear my sinuses this morning, so. Is the man in the house? Yes, it is. How may I help you? Yeah, we were wondering, your auto warranty is expired. That's a fun one, by the way, isn't it? Okay, so landing. I may have given it too many notches of flaps. Maybe I shouldn't be staring over the nose like that. Well, this isn't an ILS landing. No, it's not. It's not. And our nose is too far down. We're not going to make it. If we keep the pitch like that. Pitch is very important, by the way. 'Cause I let my hand off the stick because I don't have a yoke. And I have nothing against anyone who flies with a yoke. I really can't clutter this place with any more flight sim stuff. Someone will kill me if I do. So, yes. When I say stick, I mean yoke. I mean whatever the controls are for what I'm flying. If I was flying, the plane from a certain anime, I wouldn't need a stick. I would just have this weird helmet and then I could think about where I'm going. Oh. Frame skippage. Come on. Okay, so let's maybe bring the notch of flap up. Get some airspeed. Get these engines. Give me a little bit more oomph because I'm in the danger zone now. Where I'm coming in too slow. And there's houses and trees and stuff. Yes, Master Caution. Master Shake. I can't do a good Master Shake impression. Master Shake is hilarious. Okay, so here we go. Almost there. Is the runway really at 1,200 feet? No. It's a lot less, actually. Okay. And... land! Gonna run out of runway. Very floaty landing. Where are my landing lights? There they are.
Beechcraft pop at Yankee exit runway when able.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Welcome to Van Nuys, everybody. Feel like you've been here before. Probably have. Because I'm not going to land my King Air at LAX. No. Couldn't land on that white one.
Beechcraft pop at Yankee contact ground on 121.7.
Got it.
121.7 for Beechcraft, Papa Yankee.
We're on a different side of the airport today. And Beechcrafts deserve hangars. I would think so. I'd have to say, I mean, if I had a plane, I'd want to put that in a hangar too. How about the one straight in front of us? Do you think that Pony owns it? And I'm going to say, well, I'm leasing it. The bank owns it. But that's not our hangar. We really shouldn't just park the plane in front of a hangar and unload. That's inconsiderate for everybody else. But we'll get it done. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get it done. Won't be blocking the taxiway out to the ramp for long. I know the news helicopter has to taxi down it. Ta-da! There we are. And here we are, every pony. Right? You can get closer than that, can't you? Probably not the best idea. How's that? Is that better? Kinda. There we go. Alright, so there we are. We are here on the ground in Van Nuys with all of our lights. We left our strobe light on. 6:30 a.m. Just enough time to get people to their cars to Get to work. Get to work. Don't need landing lights. Don't need pit-out heat. Well, the surface de-ice boots never should have been on. Tail floods on. Definitely don't need strobes. See? That, in case you were wondering, that's what the Derp Your Hooves sticker looks like. Like that. Not like this. Like that. Exactly like that. So if you can guess... Probably should have turned the prop sync off before I landed. Bring those flaps up. And we should probably start turning on some lights because we're here on the ground, right? So, I mean, it doesn't really matter. We could bring the pilot floodlight on and whatever. Right? And you could say, that's beautiful. I think so, too. Look, 0 vertical speed. How high is Van Nuys? Well, it's somewhere between 900 and 800 feet sea level. Something like that. And let's put some cabin lights on. You know, people got to get out of the plane. Maybe just cabin pressure dump it since we're here. Let's see. Cabin bright. Here we go. Leave the heat on for people that are in there. Oh, maybe that's what it was. And we can just zoom out. And again, I don't have my cabin view, so I can't go in the cabin and show you. But it is a little different. I mean, it still has a shiny wood. I think the seats are a different color. I think they redid the interior a little bit. The color scheme anyways. So, but so there you have it. From what I know of the steam gauge version of the King Air. Probably kill our ignition. Huh? Of the Beechcraft King Air. Oh, auto feather. Well, that was on. Ignition and engine start. That should be off. We're just going to let everything else die out. And I am pretty sure there's external power. Right, and it's letting me know. Hey, Pony, you didn't... I know. I don't see any external power. Well, batteries are going to die on this thing. And this thing takes a lot of double A's. So, here you go, every pony. King Air 350. With the steam gauge upgrade. I got mine at Just Flight. I don't think you can get it in the marketplace. Well worth every penny I spent on it. You know, you pretty much do get an entirely separate aircraft for, for the steam gauges. And you get to keep 2 versions. It lets you keep the GPS version and this. So it's almost like it adds an extra plane to your hangar. And there is a way to add your custom liveries. Maybe I'll make a tutorial about that. Don't know. I'll be making all kinds of tutorial videos. But so that's what it looks like. Lots of fun. Still figuring it out. Like I said, if a derp like me can fly a plane, anybody can fly a plane. That's the whole idea behind Derp Your Hooves. You don't have to be a genius just to fly a plane. You might have to be a little smarter to do some other things with it, but to get from one place to another and take off and land, pretty much if you can drive a car without the auto drive. I mean, I use the autopilot, you know that. A lot of the times in these videos I put it to autopilot, but if you can drive a car, you can fly a plane. And you don't have to be a genius to fly a plane, so that's the motto at Derp Your Hooves. And again, for I don't know how many times, but so happy that we've got more than 200 subscribers for this channel. I hope you can let me hit my goal. My next goal is going to be 500. So let's try and get 500 subscribers on the channel. We'll keep on going. And I may do something. I may, do another. I may do some kind of giveaway or a live stream or something. I haven't decided yet, but I do want to thank you guys for 200 subscriptions. I hope you guys have a great day. And I want to say thank you for flying with Derp Your Hooves. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.